Today we're going to talk about soul connections and how they work and why do we feel the way that we feel and how it all happened. I was thinking deeply about this because in reality, like every person that is in our life, some way, shape, or form, we have a soul tie with. Like your family is a karmic connection. Like you have karmic bonds with these people. That's why you're in a family unit in this life. The people that you're friends with, you also have a karmic tie to. So it's like you have a soul tie, a karmic tie to these people, friends. Like your parents, you also have a karmic tie to them. And so basically, we really have a soul connection with everybody, but I feel like the connections that really impact us are intimate and romantic connections, because those are people that you explore it all with. You know, you obviously don't have a sexual connection with everybody, so that's what makes a difference. So intimate connections are like the deepest type of connections that your soul can have as a human being in this life. I was thinking about soul connections and love, and I was thinking about what is love, because when we feel something for somebody, we don't know where this feeling comes from. When you have a crush on somebody, when you're attracted to somebody, you don't know where this comes from. The initial attraction that you and another person have, it's like, you gotta think about it. It's deep as hell, because where does that come from? Where did you come from, and why do I feel something inside for you that I can't explain? And it's not something physical, but I still feel it inside. And that right there, that what you feel inside for a person, that initial attraction you have for a person, that's like the soul contract, right? That's the soul contract energy that you have. Like, you're just drawn to this person. You don't know why. And they're drawn to you. Right there, that's when it starts. The soul connection starts. You start being attracted to this person. You start getting to know this person and all this stuff. Like, this is how soul connections work, and then you get deep with this person, right? So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Now, this person is making you feel everything. They start making you feel jealous, anger, like all of these things that you wouldn't feel. And this is why intimate and romantic connections are deep, because they bring out different parts in you that wouldn't have been there if they did not trigger these emotions in you, right? So it's like the souls that you choose for intimate connections, they're not just random souls. They're probably souls that you probably had many past lives with. Because let's be honest, why would you want to have a intimate romantic relationship knowing how fucking messy that is? With just some new soul. You're not. You feel comfortable feeling anger and jealousy towards that soul because you probably have already experienced it in a past life. So all of that past life history that you have with them is coming to the surface now in this lifetime. And basically the relationship, however it goes, here's the thing. Here's the messy part. I've never been in a relationship, but I've had multiple soul connections. So it's I'm not playing by the book. I'm just saying relationship, soul connection, because let's be honest, most people in this world, most of us just have connections. We're not in relationships, because here's the thing about society. Relationship and connection. A relationship is okay, we're in a relationship. Now we're showing ourselves to the world. All my connections that I've had low-key happen very privately. And yeah, so I feel like a connection in a relationship, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. So it's just I treated all my connections like they were relationships, because they were. What we had was a connections. We had all the feelings. It was just, yeah, you didn't publicly show me to the world that we have this, but it still existed. So I just feel like don't downgrade the soul connections that you had with people just because you weren't in a relationship. That's just matrix shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Connection is connection, regardless if there was a title or not. So that's just stupid. Like, I took all of my connections seriously. And you know what? I would consider that shit a fucking relationship. Because the type of stress, the type of fucking shit I was acting and doing over these dudes, like, come on, bro. I was in a fucking unofficial, titleless situation. Okay, so it's just like, this is how messy shit can get. It's like, you're mine, but you are never mine, low key. So, but it doesn't matter. Those are just titles. Like, I just focus on the connection with people, like, even though they didn't want to, like, publicly claim me, it doesn't matter because I still had a connection with them. I still touched their fucking soul at the end of the day. But, yeah, it's like, then it's like the attraction that you have for this person, once it's settled, it's, like, very messy. Like, it's very messy. Like, you see that person's dark sides and shit. So, we mirror people in situations, and they bring out the worst and also the best in you. And it's like, whatever you feel, you're gonna feel over that person. It's like you will feel whatever you feel, but then it's like slowly inside, however long this takes, you're gonna feel the love fading away. You're gonna feel the feelings that you had for this person slowly die. And that just means that the soul connection is ending. The soul contract is ending. Whatever that person had to show you, it is ending. So you don't have to force yourself to move on from a person, because once you move on, once you have no feelings for that person, that just means that you learned your lesson. They came into your life to show you a lesson. You felt everything for them. That was the karmic release, the karmic healing. They were supposed to come into your life, make you feel what they made you feel, and leave. But once that karmic contract is done, and it could take weeks, months, years, decades, once that person's lesson in your life is over, it's over. And that's the beautiful part about soul connections. It's just over, it's like, all the feelings that you had, everything that you felt, everything that you guys went through, like, it doesn't matter because it's over. You don't feel anything for that person, so it's like, you really got to trust the feeling inside, because don't tell people to be like, oh, just move on from them. You can't move on from people, especially when they have a purpose in your life. So learn what you got to learn from them. And those feelings that you have from that person, they're naturally gonna leave, because when you meet people, you can't just meet people. You gotta be like, what is this person showing me? Because that's the true reality, right? Every time you meet somebody, especially in a romantic, intimate connection, you gotta be like, what is this person showing me? That's gonna help you move on from the person better. Right? People don't just randomly come into your lives. People come into your lives with a purpose, with a reason. And you got to understand why that purpose and reason is, so you can understand the situation better. And then it's like, after you process the situation, you're going to feel a lightness, and the feelings that you have for that person, they're just naturally going to leave, right? It's like, you don't have to force it. It's like, everybody's just a lesson. And when you start seeing it like that, you're not going to really cling on to people in a romantic sense. And I know that we all do when you're in your feelings, but just understand, like, we're just all souls. And we're just all here to teach people's lessons, Yes, some connections will hit harder than others, but that doesn't matter, Like, you don't belong to anybody. Nobody belongs to you. We belong to the stars, So it's like, we're all just here to, like, really teach each other stuff. So, just appreciate the connections that you had with these people. And remember that, when you were in your soul form, you talk to their souls. And you know what? Like, we should meet when they're at this age, when I'm at this stage. So you can teach me X, Y, and Z. So you can teach me this. So appreciate the soul connections you had, because, these are the people that you interacted with in past lives and stuff, So it's like, just enjoy it. I also want to talk about how we perceive love. How do humans perceive love? How do we perceive love? The thing is, it is a mystery. So I wrote this poem. The illusion of love is greater than the actual reality. We love people based on our projected fantasies and expect them to act on those projections. And we only love them if our projection of them aligns with how they act. If they get out of character, we suddenly don't love them anymore. So do I really love you, or do I love your projection that makes me feel secure to validate my ego and self-esteem? So what is love? Is it our projection and fantasy being aligned with that person, or is it actually unconditional? When people hurt us, they aren't actually hurting us. They are hurting our projection of expectations we set upon them. So is love really just alignment? This is why authenticity is important, so you can align without effort or being an actor like most people in this world. This is really deep, because most people in this world, we really are living off projection. And this is where it gets tricky. This is where my views on unconditional love change, because I've had deep soul connections. I've had a lot of 8th and 12th house synastry with people. That didn't mean shit, so it's like, what happened? Nothing. So it's like, because these people didn't do what I wanted them to do, I did stop loving them. So it's like, even in the deepest soul connection, because at the end of the day, we're human. So it's just like, that's how humans operate. You know what I mean? So do I really love you, or do I love how you make me feel, right? Because let's just say this. Let's say everybody that's married or in a relationship, they started doing a totally different routine or something different. They started doing whatever the fuck they wanted. Their partner, their wife, would probably divorce them in the spot, because it's operation. It's being an actor, right? So it's like, is it really unconditional love? Once the guys that I like, they do something that I don't like, I stop liking them. So do I really love unconditionally? And that's where my views on unconditional love change. I don't think we love unconditionally. And I know that's crazy to say. And trust me, I know. You can love somebody from the soul, but us as humans, we cannot love unconditionally. Okay? Because our human life requires stability. You can't just love somebody unconditionally. We love people with conditions, right? That's what's going on, right? And it's like, I feel like my views over this changed over time. Yes, of course, you can love somebody from the soul unconditionally. But besides that, it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of unrealistic. And then I wrote another poem about how that feeling that leaves for that person, it doesn't just happen overnight. It says, the ending of love has many phases and practice endings. You don't just end. First, there's a certainty that you aren't done. Then there's hope. Then there's the fight. Then there's willing to disrespect all the rules I have to keep the love alive. Then there's the silent acceptance. Then there's a peaceful acceptance. Then there's just silence and a void. Not a malicious feeling. It's just a feeling like you just woken up from a dream, ready to face regular reality. And you realize how boring and dual reality is, and the loving connection that heighten reality itself. Then all you have is yourself. The thing is, when a connection ends, that wasn't the complete ending. There was probably things that happened way before that were initiating that ending. You see, this is why people hold on in relationships, because it's or in connections, because your time with that person is done. You don't even feel anything for that person, yet you still want to hold on to this connection, this relationship with that person. And you know it's going to end. It's like a roller coaster drop. Like, you can't stop that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to end either way. So it's just like, you know, and like people feel the ending. And if you say that you never felt this in a connection with somebody, you're lying. There's a lot of things that happen to a connection ending. Okay? There's a many factors to it. And when you really end a connection with somebody, it doesn't just happen overnight. There's things that led to it. There's practice endings. So yeah, that's really deep, you know? And yeah. And I also wrote another one. Especially people who have deep soul connections like me. I wrote this one. It says, I didn't need sex. I just needed that one moment with your soul exposed. For that split second, I took advantage and put my hand there. As delicate as the soul is, my handprints are still marked. So yes, I touched you. The deepest part of you. The realest part of you. The part of you that matters. The part of you that still exists after the bodies die. Okay. That's for people who have had deep soul connections like me. It's like, even though I never had sex with any of my soul connections, I still feel like I got touched at a deeper level, right? It's like my heart and my soul got touched by these people. And that's even deeper than sex, because you can have sex with somebody and it's whatever. But it's just like, what are we really? What we really are is the soul, right? So it's just, I just feel like that's why soul connections matter the most, because it's just like, those are the people that have the biggest impact on you, right? Like, so it's just, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things about soul connections that humans are such a mystery about, because we think that these things are just, oh, like, I just met this guy and I have all these feelings for him. But we never stop and ask, like, how is that possible? How can you feel? How can you just feel something for somebody? How are you just, like, drawn to somebody in that way? Like, we never ask that, right? You never, like, sit down and ask that. And when you realize everything in your life is ordained for a reason, for a purpose, everything that you do, like, all the people that you meet, it's for a fucking reason. Like, you don't just randomly meet people. You know, so that's the beautiful part. It's like, we meet people for a reason, for a purpose, and it's all a divine play. They were supposed to come into your life at this time. They were supposed to do what they did. They were supposed to make you feel what they made you feel and then leave. Like, that's the whole point. So once you start understanding soul connections more, you're gonna better navigate these situations more. Some connections do touch your soul deeper than others. Okay. And that's something that you have to live with. There's many people in this world that you have an unfulfilled, like, love. And it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. I have an unfulfilled love. And it's like, it's something that you have to live with, right? Every day. But it's okay, because that's not the only experience that you're going to experience in your life, right? Well, I have many unfulfilled loves, but it's like, look, you can't fuss about it, because it's just like, it's whatever. At the end of the day, it's like, here's the thing about the way the world works. If something is meant to happen, it's gonna happen. So if it didn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. So it's like, you could have all these wishes and expectation for a person, but if they're not supposed to be the person that you're supposed to be experiencing that with, it's not gonna fucking happen. So understand that life is really just all about alignment. Love isn't just love. Love is alignment. You love that person because they're doing what you want them to do. But if that person didn't act or be aligned in the same frequency as you, you wouldn't want them. That's the whole point about love. Love isn't feelings. Love is soul alignment. And once that person stops aligning with you, aka their soul contract, their soul mission ends with you, it's over. You're not going to feel the alignment anymore. That person aligns to your frequency for that split moment or however long to come into your life and give you a lesson that you need. And remember, you asked for this. That heartbreak that person gave you, whatever they did to you in your life, you asked for it at a soul level. So they could evolve you. Okay? That's what we ask people. Yes, everybody who hurt you in your life, you asked for it. Because it's like, here's the thing about souls. Nothing happens in your life without permission, because we plan our whole lives out. Yes, free will plays a part. Most of the time, shit plays out like that. So it's just like, I know this is such a horrible example, but just think about serial killers and their victims. In a past life, you probably had beef with that person or something. Or you literally wanted that. Like, your soul asked that to be a victim in this life. Because it's just like, beyond these titles that we see, oh, serial killer person, all this shit, we're all just people. We're all just souls, we're all just souls playing these different characters. And when you start seeing life that way, you're going to see how deep it is. Stop seeing people as people. Start seeing people as souls and soul contracts and soul missions. Start seeing it as that, right? Because some souls come into this lifetime just to play the part, right? Just to be in a physical vessel and play the part and then show people a story or inspire other people by that story, right? Because people think that we're these physical bodies, but we're not. A lot of souls, they just come here to play dress up and leave. When you get into the soul, it's really that deep. So stop seeing people as bodies and see them as souls. And say, why did I meet this person? What was the utter purpose of me meeting that person? What is my purpose on this planet? And you have to think about those things. What is my purpose on this planet? And why did I meet the people that I met? And how did these people impact my lives? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And then that's where you'll find the truth, right? Forget all those fucking titles that we see in society. Oh, relationship, situationship. All that fucking shit is bullshit. Connection is connection, period. No matter how the connection is expressed. So think about that. Ask the important questions, right? Anyways, that's all I really wanted to say. Just think about all the connections that you had in your life. Think about, what did that person teach me? Think about, what lessons did I learn? Think about all of these things. Think about, what is my purpose on the planet, right? You have to think about all of these things, right? So think about that. Introspect. Goodbye.